Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Am I audible enough?
Yes. Yes.
Great.
I'm sorry, I wish I could speak with your accent. Unfortunately, I'm a typical Zambian, so my accent may be a little bit difficult for some of you.
But we love it.
Thank you.
It's all right, you sound like Harry Belafonte.
Thank you. So, let me take this opportunity to sincerely thank every one of you for making it here. We are so thankful as the African Education Program, especially us as a team from Zambia. As we were coming, we saw snow. That's something that is so fantastic for us because we never see snow. But I understand that it has been somehow inconveniencing. But you still made it here. You still found it worth to be here. So we are so grateful for the work that you're doing. Through your support, you've been able to keep countless of dreams alive in my country I'm coming from. So thank you very much. Without you, we don't know if we could even be talking about African Education Program. Without your support, the African program would have been a history. Without your support, all the dreams that have been able to be kept alive by the results of your support, that wouldn't have been in existence. So please join me in thanking you for the good work that you've been doing. So to start with, before I talk about my story, I just want to let you know that if there's anything that has been so big in my life, it's the African Education Program. So this is where my story starts. When I was somewhere around 8, we moved to Kamanya. So some of you, Mama Mario, Uncle Peter, you've been there. Julian, yes.
1 second, who's been to Chinyanya?
Yes. Great.
Wow.
So I've got a big family. So you've been there. So that's where we moved to because of the hardships that my family had been facing. So the idea was probably if we moved to that area, there was going to be an improvement in our lives. But that didn't happen because the area doesn't have a lot of opportunities. And my father, just being a subsistence farmer, he couldn't be able to provide what was needed in order for me to stay in school. So the area is pretty much a fishing camp. So it's a fishing camp, and for those that wouldn't do fishing, they will do some subsistence farming. That is just farming for consumption. And also another economic activity is that of charcoal. Some people venture into charcoal burning. Those are the economic activities that keeps the Chinyanya to be moving forward. In itself, the area is a very good place with people that are ever smiling. However, the continuous economic hardships, the continuous challenges that the people have been facing has continuously been eating all these smiles away. And I remember very well being once such a child whose smiles were being slowly eaten each time I started thinking about my education. Because my parents could not provide, as I've already stated, they were subsistence farmers. So providing for me was something that was above, to use Uncle Peter's word, above their paycheck. So, knowing too well that I wasn't going to stay in school, I was forced to start doing, odd jobs. In our country, we call them fish works, but here you would call it manual works, like after school work, like those works that a student maybe from other different places wouldn't want to do. That's what I started doing. So I remember very often I would start making bleach using mud soil just so I could, earn some money to be able to pay for my school fees. I also recall having worked, at a nearby sugar plantation company to do the planting for the sugar, all in the name of trying to raise money for me to be able to pay for my school fees. I also do recall at the age of 16 having done some bartending, businesses. In my country, somebody who's below the age of 16 is not supposed to go into a bar, but there was no option for me. So I had to do that just so I could raise the money. So once I was able to raise enough money that was needed for me to stay in school, my grades suffered. The hardships that I had to go through, the time that I would waste doing all these piece works, they really got my grades affected. So it was for this reason that, borrowing from this experience, I've always wanted to see to it that no child has to go through what I went through. And this is why being a part of the African Education Program, it's a very special thing for me. I joined AEP in 2010, as Julian has already spoken. That's when I joined the organization. That was the greatest thing that ever happened in my life. Because before I joined AYC, I was hopeless. I was in despair. I never hoped that I was one day going to set foot in college. College was a thing that would never cross my mind. But just after I joined the African Education Program, my hope was restored. After working for a couple of years, I was given an opportunity to go to the university where I started a Bachelor of Arts in Education, and came back and still continued to be part of this hardworking team. So for me, the African Education Program is not really an organization that just only focuses on improving the lives of youth, but it's also an organization that believes in staff professional development. As a result of the education that I acquired, I've been able to serve diligently, passionately, and getting to have new dreams of how I would want to see things moving in my country. So, resulting from the education that I got, coming from the African Education Program, have this growing passion of wanting to see my generation to be very educated. One of my dreams is to see my country having a citizen that is well informed, having a citizen that is civically engaged, because we have a problem in our country. Sometimes most of the people, because they are pretty much focused on the need to put food on their table, they find little time to get engaged in civic related issues. That's one thing I would want to see. I would also want to see a situation where every child has access to quality education, not just education, but access to quality education, irrespective of their social standing in society, irrespective of their economic background. That's one of my dreams. And I am quite sure that with your support, with the help that is coming from you, it is possible for me and my colleagues back in Zambia to realize this dream. You are the biggest thing that we have. Thank you very much for the tremendous work that you're doing. Thank you.